Welcome into Jags AM. I'm Kainani Stevens. Brian Sexton, John Oehser with me today. As the Jaguars are playoff bound, we're preparing for the wild card matchup against the Buffalo Bills this week as we look ahead to that opponent and also look a little bit about where this team came from about a year ago. Let's go over our big things for you today, brought to you by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association. 365 days ago, the Jaguars didn't have a head coach because they just released Doug Peterson, and there were so many question marks. About 3 or 4 weeks after that, Liam Cohen became the new head coach of these Jags. John, we've kind of talked about this and how far this team has come in a year, but to see what Liam Cohen has been able to do with this team, it becomes even more impressive when you look at it in terms of what he's done in such a short amount of time.
Well, it's remarkable. And, you know, as you do this, meaning be around the NFL for a long, long time, you get an appreciation as time goes by of how much structure and belief matter around an organization. And I think that, you know, everything else, Trevor's development, all the stuff on the field has stemmed from the fact that very quickly you realize that between Tony Boselli and James Gladstone and Liam Cohen, in no particular order there, that there was going to be structure, there was going to be doing things the right way, and above all, Brian, the players were going to, over time, believe strongly in the direction. And I think that's why you have the feeling that you have all the other stuff, but I think it started there.
Well, I mean, what bears that out is the fact that Antonio Johnson, Monteric Brown. Look at all the players who are playing at a really high level who we doubted. Devin Lloyd is another name that comes to mind. You look at the players who were here who didn't play like they are right now, and you can understand the depth and the breadth of what these men have done. They took what was here and made it better. They brought in some guys and added, but the biggest story to the season is the way that guys who were here that didn't play very well are all of a sudden playing their best football. And I think that speaks loudly about the coach, about the general manager, and about what Tony Boselli has done. They have created a system that took what was here and made it better. And of course, thinking forward about what they're going to do, you can see that they could be successful there also.
Liam Cohen, certainly our coach of the year. I think he'll be considered nationally for that as well. As we go into our second big thing today, we're going to look ahead to the Bills game. Wild history. We talk about the 2 wild card playoff matchups against the Bills in the past. Brian, I know you love to be our history buff here, but they've played the Bills 2 times in the playoffs, and the Jags have gotten 2 wins out of it, and they were pretty notable games.
Yeah, listen, a lot of people will remember the 2017 game, so I'll leave that alone. Suffice to say, it was 1 touchdown pass that beat the Bills, and it was Blake Bortles to Ben Koyak. But if you go back to 1996 and the Jaguars' first ever playoff appearance, they went into Orchard Park, and it was Rich Stadium back then. And that particular Buffalo Bills team still had all the Hall of Famers playing. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith, Andre Reed. The list is long and distinguished. And the Jaguars did something that nobody thought they could do. Be the first team to win a game on the road at Rich Stadium. This play to me signifies as much as anything what the Jaguars did. They got big plays. That's playing above the X's and O's. That's Clyde Simmons, who snatched that ball out of the air and tied the game at 7. Kai, the context here is that the Jaguars were down 7-0 already at that point, had gone 3 and out on the ensuing possession, and it just felt like the momentum was building. And then there's Natron Means, who, listen, he had a brilliant run through the playoffs that year. He was amazing in this ball game, and they got big plays from Keenan McCardell and from Jimmy Smith and Chris Hudson. Big players. There's Pete Mitchell to set up what would be a Natron Means 30-yard touchdown run. John, I know you remember the game. You were there as well. It was a day in which the Jaguars played their best football of the year. Here's that touchdown run where he just bounces off of Phil Hansen and Bruce Smith. And that's Chris Spielman, by the way, in there as well. Great players. The Jaguars' big players made big plays that day, played above the X's and O's. That's what has to happen this year.
And by the way, it introduced the football world to Tony Boselli.
Yeah.
And but you're right. If we're going back memory lane, the Clyde Simmons play, for people who weren't alive or following it back then, the Jaguars had this perception, I think even those who followed us, of having sort of be the cute little team that got into the playoffs because Morton Anderson missed. But you really didn't know that they could go and beat the Bills. Everybody talks about the Denver game. The Buffalo game, obviously you don't get to the Denver game without that. It was almost as big. I mean, and when they had scored, and I'm sitting there taking notes going, okay, well, I'm writing a loss. and all of a sudden Clyde picks it and goes all the way, and it's never a one-sided game from that point. Clyde Simmons sort of made the nation know that the Jaguars could do something special, and Clyde, a great guy, great locker room guy, always enjoyed him. But fond memories, guy. Fond memories.
Absolutely. Hopefully another fond memory from this week's playoff game. We're going to look ahead. Our final big thing is Josh Allen. Of course, he's the X factor in many games that he's a part of, and Liam Cohen talked a little bit about what he does so well.
He's extremely impressive. I remember, we played him in 2020, and we played him again in 2022. And he did some really good things against us, like stiff-arming defenders, throwing the ball down the field a million miles. And I've got a lot of respect for their coaching staff. I know some of the guys on the offensive staff specifically. And to watch him play, the competitor, so many playoff games, division, whatever it is, big games, he typically shows up and makes critical plays at critical moments, and that's why he's been an MVP candidate for a long time.
John, we talk about this, it's a team game, but Josh Allen is one of those players that you can never count out, and he can take over a game. What do the Jags need to do to prepare this week?
Well, I think you alluded to what I was going to say, Kai. The phrase "a quarterback lifting a team" is really overused because only a few guys can do it. This kid can do it. And, the most scary thing is how you can completely defend a play and then he can break 2 tackles and man his way into the end zone on a 40-yard run. We've all seen the play against the Chiefs a couple years back, but he does that all the time. That, to me, Brian, is the X factor. He's so strong and can run over defensive linemen. Again, I go back to what I said at the beginning. Everybody talks about players who can lift a team. Only a few can do it. He may be the best in the NFL at doing it.
Yeah, that's why they call him Superman. He puts the team on his shoulders and carries them. When it seems like nothing is working or the situation is so against the Bills, he finds a way to make a play. You realize no quarterback in NFL history has as many rushing touchdowns as Josh Allen. He has his 79th this season.
That's incredible.
Yeah, this is not a guy that you look at and go, well, there's a running quarterback right there. He's 6'6". You think that's a pocket passer. Not him, and he relishes it. If you can stop James Cook, you have a chance against Josh Allen. But if you can't stop James Cook, then Josh Allen has some freedom, right? Because you've got to pay attention to both. And all of a sudden, then Josh Allen runs you silly. He is as good a quarterback as there has been. I like the big, strong guys like that. I like Phillip Rivers. I like John Elway. This guy is as good as it gets.
Stay with us here on Jags AM. Coming up after the break, we'll do a little this or that as we look ahead to the wild card matchup against Buffalo.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
Hey Jaguars fans, Thrive Infusions is Jacksonville's premier med spa for hydration, recovery, and performance. Whether you visit in-spa or book mobile IV therapy right to your door, they've got you covered. Their IV vitamin infusions help with hangovers, jet lag, dehydration, and overall wellness, keeping you energized and ready to go. Plus, with treatments like M-Sculpt Neo to build muscle and burn fat, and Hydrofacials for glowing, healthy skin, they'll help you look and feel your best. Visit Thrive Infusions today and keep Jacksonville thriving on and off the field.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
The stadium bathroom line. It's like TSA and the DMV merged in the waters of rush hour traffic, and you're in it. No closer to the bathroom than you were 5 minutes ago. Just closer to, well, going to the bathroom. You know what actually takes a minute? Pre-ordering an Uber so no one drives impaired after the game. Take a minute, make a plan. Never drive impaired. Go to takeaminutenow.com. From Diageo, Mad, Uber, and the NFL. Please drink responsibly.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are a part of it. Introducing First and Forward, a development partner program highlighting the significant contributions made toward the transformative efforts to the city of Jacksonville. Thank you, Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, Office Images, Sims Crane, Start Tech, and People's Gas. Championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward program. The First Coast Forward Together. To learn more, visit Jaguars.com/forward together.
Jags AM brought to you by Fields Auto Group. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Head over to fieldsauto.com.
This or that. This or that.
Welcome back into Jags AM on this Wednesday. We're going to play a little this or that. We're looking ahead to the wild card matchup. And of course, Liam Cohen got himself some more bulletin board material because the Jaguars are home underdogs. They got the 3 seed. They're hosting the Bills, but dogs at home. Love it? Hate it?
Love it because it reminds me of that 96 bunch where nobody believed in them. In 99, it wasn't as much fun because they were the best team in the AFC that year, or they had the best record in the AFC. They didn't beat the Titans. So I love it. And plus, John, I don't think they're going to be able to play this very long. I mean, this team will not be underdogs in 2026. People know what's here. They understand what Tony and James and Liam are capable of. And with the quarterback in place now, and looks like he's ready to go, this team will only get better, and no one's going to write them off as they have this year.
Yeah, they'll be favorites most of the year next year. Look, it's fine. It's probably good for this team. They're underdogs. As I wrote in the Ozone a couple of times, I've never seen a point spread score a touchdown. Yeah. I've never seen it win a game. Once the game's over, do you ever really remember maybe the Denver game when they were 13-point underdogs back in '96? I can't remember what the spread was in any game this year, but leading up to it, sure, it's fine.
Let's talk a little bit more about what this matchup is going to look like. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence for weeks now, what he's been doing the past couple of months, but then when you look at Josh Allen and some of his playoff experience, would you rather have the hot hand heading in, or do you appreciate having a quarterback that's kind of been there, done that?
Well, I think what happens a lot of times in this situation, the playoff experience becomes a really crucial early week storyline. And then a lot of times you get to the game and realize, oh, this is the playoffs, and whoever's better is going to play better. Happened in '96 a couple times, right? Because, and look, you talk so much about playoff games that sometimes you forget you actually got to play them. Mm-hmm. And the point I'm getting to is, in this game, the Jaguars, if you took the uniforms and the history off, you would look at the Jaguars and say, well, they're clearly the favorites. I mean, they're coming in there, the number one run defense, second in takeaways, maybe the best quarterback in the NFL over the last 2 months, team that's scoring this kind. If it wasn't for the fact the Bills had been there so often, the Jaguars would be an overwhelming favorite, I think, based on how they're playing. But because Josh Allen plays in this game, they deserve to be in that, it deserves to be a tight spread.
Listen, when you look at this Bills team, especially compared to the one that we saw last year, the one that just took the Jaguars apart 47-10 on Monday Night Football, this Bills team is not that Bills team, but this quarterback absolutely is. Mm-hmm. They have scored more than 30 points 11 times, and that's without having the big down-the-field threat receiver that they've had in years past. That's a testament to what Josh Allen can do, because the defense isn't nearly as good as the one that the Bills had last year. They give up 136 yards per game on the ground. That's not a Buffalo defense. But Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. And they went 11-5 and found a way to overcome deficiencies because he is so good. So I respect the hot hand, and I believe in it. Mm-hmm. But the playoff experience here tells me that Josh Allen is going to make this game win or lose for the Bills based on the fact that he's done it all season long for them.
I think, too, the key to me in the first half of this game, can the Jaguars limit Cook?
That's it.
Without having 11 guys on Cook, meaning within the scope of how they usually play defense, can they stop Cook because they're a good run defense without overemphasizing stopping him? If you overemphasize stopping him, then Josh Allen's running all over the place. So how, I don't say easy, but how comfortably they can defend the run is really important in the first half.
Well, we're going to find out how good they are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, they look like a team that was good against the run, but maybe not that dominant Seattle Texans front. I wasn't quite sure if they were really that good. And then last week, I watched Devon Hamilton just wreck the inside of the Titans, and the linebackers spilling over the top. And so I think they're ready for the
really
challenge.
Good against the run.
Yeah, I think they're ready to prove that they are that number one run defense that the numbers have said, Kai, that they are all year long. Here's the thing that I have in confidence with them. Jonathan Taylor was running at the same pace that James Cook is. Cook finishes at 5.2 per carry, 1,606 yards, 12 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor absolutely is the equal of this guy, except that all of a sudden Daniel Jones is out and everybody can stack the box and stop him. So the Jaguars held Jonathan Taylor and the Colts to 74 yards rushing in the first game and 70 in the second game. And I think that the Jaguars can do that to James Cook. They better, because if you don't, and he's running wild, then you got two fronts in your war against the Bills' offense, and two may be too many.
I think the interesting factor is the Jaguars team really tackles well, and they really, really hit you hard. I think it sometimes gets overlooked. It's hard to see that, and we all pay attention to Trevor. We all pay attention to the receivers, and you sort of overlook run defense because it's not a sack. Sacks are sexy. Hey, I got a sack.
Yeah.
But this team trips you up at the line of scrimmage. They have a lot of 2-yard runs that in the past would have been 4-yard runs. They keep you in bad down and distance, but they really hit you. By the time you're in the third or fourth quarter against the Jaguars, there's a lot of teams that are tired of playing the Jaguars. We don't talk about that quite that much, but there's some guys in the secondary and guys in linebackers who are sort of nuts.
Yeah.
Who, really,
kind,
I mean,
kind of nuts.
Yeah, but
Well, it's not a game for well-adjusted men. You
really
need guys who want to hit you.
And other teams don't like playing us.
No.
We talk so much about how good the run defense is, and they are. Is there a little bit of concern, though, just because Josh Allen runs so well, other than Jonathan Taylor, a lot of the rush yards they've given up have been to quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So while we
got him for
focus a
60.
ton on James Cook, is there concern there about containing Josh Allen on the ground?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, if Anthony Campanile was sitting here right now, he could extol all of the concern and the sleepless nights that he has had and will have this week trying to get ready for the quarterback running. But the thing about the quarterback is he hits his back step and he can just take off. I mean, and he's so big and so strong, you got to hit him low and high. You got to have your tackling plan has to have two bodies to him.
Yeah, and look, it's a game going into it. Defense coordinators don't really think this way publicly. They're going to score. And
28 points a game.
Yeah, what you need to do, the reason the Jaguars can win this game is because the Jaguars can score more. And I'm not saying they will, but they're very capable of scoring more. They can keep up with a team like this. In years past, you wondered if they could. But I always use the phrase, you have to break serve against a player like Josh Allen, meaning sometimes, they got the sack this time, you're 3rd and 17. Don't let them pick that up because they're going to pick up the more manageable situations on other drives.
We've talked about them being the number one running offense, and that's true, but there's two other categories that they're number one in that are pivotal in the way that they play. The first is third down. They lead the NFL at 45% on third down, which means they stay on the field, and so they're also first in time of possession at more than 33 minutes. Well, why is that a problem? Because it shrinks the number of possessions you get. So you can't have a red zone turnover. What do the Jaguars have, 6 or 7 this year, right? I mean, you can't have back-to-back 3-and-outs. You've got to, as John mentioned, keep pace with this team. You've got to make it the most of every possession you get, because when you play the Bills, if their running game is working, you don't get as many.
Stay with us here on Jags AM. We're going to look ahead at a little bit at the playoff picture and see what else is going on in the AFC.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes. the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
My best friend Riley loved going to the beach. She was a great swimmer. Then one day, during a swim meet, she collapsed. She had cancer, Hodgkin lymphoma. She spent months getting care at UF Health. The doctors did so much, even put her in a clinical trial. I wish we could go to the beach right now. But she's working.
Out of the water.
She's on lifeguard duty. Maybe we'll head out when her shift is done.
UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
Before you break ground on any project, make sure to call 811 before you dig. Sunshine 811 is a free service to have underground utility lines marked before digging. For projects of all sizes, creating a game plan can save you time and money. Skipping the call could mean accidentally hitting underground utility lines, which can lead to injuries, expensive repairs, fines, and even service outages in your neighborhood. Let's keep everyone safe. Dial or click ahead. Find out more at peoplesgas.com/811.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
Jags AM brought to you by Dreamfinders Homes. For 12 years, Dreamfinders Homes have been proud to call themselves the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dreamfinders.com for all of the available inventory, and go Jags. Welcome back in. We're going to look around a little bit. Not get ahead of ourselves, but kind of be aware of what's going on, especially in the AFC playoffs. So the Broncos were able to secure the number 1 seed, so they have a bye this week. They're going to get that first round bye, and potentially the AFC will run through Denver at this point. Obviously, the Jags went there and got a win. It's kind of cool to at least have that measuring stick game, to know that that's a place you can go and win if that's where they end up going, if they continue the playoffs.
They can, because they've done it before. It will be much more difficult this time around. You're not going to get a 60-degree day in January, and they know you're coming this time, and they didn't the last time. They didn't believe the last time, but this time they do, and they know what's coming. That's a tough place to play. It's a tremendous advantage to play at that altitude, and the Jaguars are not going to sneak up on them. But they had a 14-point lead the entire fourth quarter. They might not need to.
Yeah, look, there's some years where home field feels like it really matters in the postseason, and that you know the number 1 seed is a Goliath. You're not going to go beat them. To me, Denver deserves to be the number 1 seed. But there's no team this year, outside maybe the one the Jaguars are playing this week, with a quarterback who's been there and been through all of that. Really, Trevor is the other guy outside Josh Allen who has been there and done that. Bo Nix was there last year.
Yeah.
But the only behemoth quarterback is Josh Allen. So the interesting thing to me is, Trevor in this game on Saturday, I'm talking about other stuff, Trevor has a chance to prove he's that quarterback now. And that's a storyline to me on Sunday, and Saturday. I'll talk about it Saturday, too.
Exactly. We should fair to mention, because I kind of think of this too, Aaron Rodgers obviously is a part of this mix after that missed kick against the Ravens. So
he's the quarterback. You're right.
He might be the one. But he does look a little bit different now, and he's going up against that Texans defense that we know loves to hit people. So that's a matchup I'm watching as well. The Texans, the only team that's won more games in a row right now, they're on a 9-game win streak as they head up to take on the Steelers in Pittsburgh this week as well. That's a matchup we're going to see on Monday night.
I don't know what to make of the Steelers. They don't look like a Pittsburgh team. You know, you could always put your finger on who they are and what they do offensively. But defensively, boy, they look like a team that can knock you out. I mean, I think they're very good with T.J. Watt back there. Derek Harmon, their first-round pick, had a heck of a game the other night. The Texans' offense isn't scary at all, and I think the Steelers' defense can handle them.
Yeah, I think the Texans win this big. The Texans, to me, are the one team in the postseason that has the defense that can take you all the way and can overcome their offensive deficiencies. Anything can happen in the playoffs. Maybe Aaron Rodgers gets hot. To me, this feels like a game where the 10-7 record of the Steelers against the 12-5 record of the Texans, by the end of the game, you think, okay, that really was the better team. Because the Texans, their superpower, to use that word I hate, they can rush the passer on any offensive line, and they can beat double teams, and they can out-physical you. They're scary in the postseason.
Scary. I think they can force turnovers, too, get you some points. So that Texans defense is definitely going to be a tough matchup. And then the other AFC matchup is going to be the Patriots hosting the Chargers. There's little movement. We didn't know who was going to be where. Kind of the top were set, but just who's going to be playing where. So now we know the Chargers are going to head out to New England, and it's hard to tell what that's going to look like because the Patriots haven't played a super tough schedule as of late. Obviously, they play the Bills, but otherwise in opponents, they haven't played a really high caliber team, and where they match up against the Chargers will make it interesting.
Yeah, this is a real interesting game. The Chargers have not been great in the postseason in recent years. Herbert's got that thing on him, playoff Herbert, whatever that is. I don't buy that. I think Herbert's really, really good. And this Patriots team, Kai, you followed the Patriots when you were growing up. They have to kind of prove, probably even to their fans and themselves, we deserve this number 2 seed. Because they are in a situation, and I'm sure they know it, they lose this game, everybody nationally is going, yeah, they played a bad schedule. Weren't that good. I mean, on that kind of a team, this kind of a season, everything you've done gets sort of thrown away if you don't win this game somehow. It's not fair, but that'll be somebody's narrative about the Patriots if they lose this.
Justin Herbert got some rest, right? They sat him in the season finale. Now can he get some help? Watching him try to beat the Texans, it seemed like he was trying to do it all by himself. And John, you just extolled the virtues of what the Texans can do. The offensive line for the Chargers missing 5 or 6 offensive tackles, including their 2 starters, for most of this season. But the one thing the Patriots don't do well, they don't rush the passer all that well. So it would seem to me that Justin Herbert, who has a big boy arm, if he can get some help down the field, whether we're talking about Keenan Allen or whether we're talking about the young Gadsden, the tight end, the rookie from Syracuse, or Quentin Johnston, if he can get some help, I think the Chargers can pull the upset. And if the Chargers pull the upset, the Jaguars could be hosting a divisional game.
And I think there is a little bit, too. Remember, the Titans were top seed with Vrabel as the head coach a few years back, lost that game. So there's definitely going to be a storyline for him. I don't think he'll feel it, but about him. Okay, you've got what many people think are the best team. Can you go back that up, or did you pretend your way into this 14-3 record? I don't buy that. Nobody pretends their way to 14-3, but that'll be the narrative if they lose.
You play the schedule in front of you, so you don't want to knock anybody for who they're playing. I think it's more the Jaguars, will speak from experience with them, feels like they're battle tested, feels like they know what a playoff game is going to feel like. And I'm just saying, in terms of who the Patriots have played as of late, if the Chargers can come out ready to go at the beginning of that game, that might be a little bit of a surprise.
Battle tested is the right phrase, Kai, because even though they weren't necessarily looking at the standings every week, or at least they said they weren't, they had the Texans nipping at their heels. The Jaguars won their last 8 games, and they had to win every single one of them. Otherwise, they would be on the road this week playing in Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football. Instead, they're getting ready to play here in front of their crowd with a standing room only audience in attendance because they won each one of those games. Listen, we found out in 1996, to go back there for a moment, that hardens you for the playoffs when it feels like you're playing for your life every single week. The Jaguars this will not seem too big to them. They've already been doing this.
Yeah, this Jaguars team, I'd put it there with 99 in terms of going into the postseason as ready and as capable of winning it as any I've seen, just mainly because of what you just said. 8 straight games. Remember how it started? Everybody looks back on that 35-6 over the Chargers and thinks, oh, well, they beat the Chargers. They were 5-4 at that point.
Yep.
And playing the Chargers, who I thought,
could really put
I was not
in.
thinking that was a W. Had to win that one. And every game has been a test of some sort. They're ready. They're relatively healthy. They're playing well, and they have an elite quarterback. This team has a chance.
Sure do. Stay with us here on Jags AM. I'll tell you what's coming up the rest of the week.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at ServPro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. ServPro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
This holiday, Verizon is giving you incredible gifts and savings you'll enjoy all year. When you switch, you'll get 4 new iPhone 17 Pros. No trade-in needed. That's right. Get 4 lines for just $25 a line and the amazing iPhone 17 Pro for everyone. Save big this holiday. Visit Verizon today. $20 monthly promo credits applied to account over 35 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA to not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Don't just wait for the big game. Bet on big playoff games every weekend. Only on Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us and turn playoff predictions into paydays. If your team season is already over,
looks like they're headed home early.
It only takes $1 to make any game interesting.
And we're back. What a game.
Download Hard Rock Bet. Win your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable in bonus bet up to $100. Not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans. And this weekend's Wild Card playoff game against the Bills brought to you by Daly's. It's nicer here.
All my high school buddies text me, and they all reach out to him too and stuff. And, I think it's kind of cool that we have the same, I kind of took that on. It was the same exact, deal he did. We were pretty good when I was playing, so we said it a lot. But he's been doing that. He was doing that, I think, since college. And when he came to coach me in high school, he did the same thing. So kind of took that one on.
And Cohen talking a little bit about how's that feel post-game. Came from his dad, coaching him
really
in high
cool.
school.
Yeah,
and
great story.
LaSalle and Providence, they did win a lot of games, so that makes sense. But it's a pretty cool tradition for him to take on, and his dad's here all the time. You see him out at the practice field.
It was interesting because he said that his dad always came in swinging up, and he comes in swinging down. So he's put his own spin on it.
Absolutely. Hopefully no one gets injured, and we'll be all set.
So far, so good.
Who are you guys talking to this week? What are you looking forward to or kind of figuring out as they get ready for this playoff
I've talked to most of the assistant coaches this year. I'm hoping to connect with Shane Waldron, longtime associate and ally confidant of the head coach, and talk to him. He's one of those guys that also does a lot with time management and strategy, and the Jaguars have been.
He's the guy in Liam's ear.
Yeah, he has been excellent. They have been excellent at that this year. So just, he's not going to give me any of the insight, but the insight about how you prepare for an opponent. I think it'd be fascinating, hoping to connect with him.
Yeah, I'm talking to Johnny Jones, so I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be fun.
I on the Ozone podcast, I probably should have done it multiple times this season, but he's a terrific story. Was out of the lineup early and has had to persevere, and he's now come back and he's playing about as high a level as they have in the secondary. He's one of those stories we talked about of guys who, there's 5 or 6 guys on this team who didn't think anything about in week 2. They wouldn't be here without guys like this, and plus he's a lot of fun.
Is he going to tell you?
Is he going to bring you a grill though?
Oh, I'm sure that'll be part of it.
I mean, I would hope so.
I want the story behind what it took to get that done.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I think Marissa was involved in that a little bit for Trevor's, so
that's my favorite
understandable.
piece of video for the whole year. I just love the way that those players react to Trevor, and you can just see the love in that room. And this time of year, you got to have that level of connectedness, and not everyone does.
It's the most relaxed. I mean, not that Trevor is ever uptight, but he's never been more chill and relaxed than he is right now, playing good football. Yeah. It's the perfect time. On Jags AM, we will be back here tomorrow to dive into that Bills matchup even more as we get ready for Wild Card Weekend. We'll see you then.